early on, you know, we talked about it. Like if you're in a matchup where it's more like Karma Caitlyn, I would want you to not leash. And it sounds like the first thing is like, oh, but won't they just beat us when we win? It's not really about that. It's kind of about like if like lane presence, right? If you're against Karma Caitlyn or something like that, and you have to walk into here while they're already here, it's impossible, right? But if you guys are like here around the same time, then you have like you can walk in with the minion wave and use them to block the Q, and that's why it's like a huge difference.
Yeah, if you walk in late, you just get RQ'd in the face.
Yeah, so it's okay to be pushed in, but there's a difference between like being able to actually play up here and get pushed in and like catch XP versus like being stuck down here and not catching any XP, right? And like literally just being screwed. So in this lane, they're not really able to stop you guys from that. I mean, if Caitlyn's gonna auto you, Milio can shield you. So it's not like, yes, she has the range, but it's not like it's just a shit stain. It's not like a fucking mess, you know? It's fine. That's why I was like, it's okay to leash. You guys are just gonna want to get pushed anyways. If we try, like, just do a really short leash these days. We don't need to commit even to like 137. Just hit it like 2 or 3 times and be like, all right, I'm done, and get there for the XP if we can. And the same thing, the W can be used early for like trading. Or a little bit trades if they do it, but I wouldn't necessarily like focus it on this. If you're already being pushed in, then we maybe like this one ends up being okay because there's a bunch of minions high HP still. But if they're really far up on you and they're kind of zoning you, hold it so you can catch like the melees. Because if this Caitlyn was maybe a little bit better, she doesn't even need to be farming for, like, she should be standing maybe around up here.
Yeah.
Because they're already winning the push and you've already missed XP. So in that case, if you're feeling that pressure, be like, okay, don't use my W for just useless damage. Let me use it to catch the minions, right? That'll be your CSing tool for a bit. At least for the first couple levels. And then it'll just be playing slow. They come into you like this. You got some good damage on the Rakan there. Not much. So what we did early game was good this game. Let it come in. What? What?
I was very upset with how I see us the first 5 waves.
Yeah, so like this would be an example where it'd be okay. By the way, like you see these 2 minions both getting low, and you're like, oh shit, I get one or the other. I don't know why Milio auto attacked it, but it still probably would have died. Just you could use your W here. You just W it, get both these at the same time, get this one. Like your W is just a CSing tool at this point. We're not looking to again, like it's the same. You're not going to be looking to trade, so we don't like really need it. Like your level 2 is not bad for Lucian Milio. You have some trade potential, but when the wave looks like this, there's all these minions, and they're kind of in a spot where you'd have to dash in here to like, or dash like up here to do damage. And plus Rakan, if you dash, will W you. It's just don't worry about like needing spells to trade. Just you're playing for the bounce. You're playing for the bounce back into them, and that's when you're going to be trading. Or level 3, that's when you're going to be trading. So you have some time to just blow your cooldowns without like feeling bad about it. And like, dude, Milio griefed that minion. That's not your fault. Like, yeah. I don't know why he autoed that minion, dude. I'm telling you, man, this guy can't help himself but auto. I think this was the situation where I was like, see, like this is another time where, oh yeah, you did it, but you just need to do it like a second faster. I think you hesitated a little bit. But it's totally fine for you to use that W. Just be like, just make the decision. Like, be like, I'm going to use W for this. And don't like hesitate to the point where you're going to miss it, you know? Like, again, you don't, like, I kind of, like, watch this. I kind of got this feeling from you that your W, you feel like your W is so important so you can, like, use Milio's W or something. But again, like, we're just waiting for the bounce. We're waiting for an opportunity. We don't need to feel like we're wasting our W to farm with it. We're actually fine. Because, like, look, it's up again anyways, and there was no window no matter what. I even, right there, I probably wouldn't have. So this would be a time where I wouldn't use my W to CS the minion.
Yeah, it's gonna lose me all the casters.
No. So I wouldn't use my. You could catch this minion by either auto-ing or like auto like short dash, or by W autoing, right? But I wouldn't do it for this one because you're gonna hit 3 soon, and they're okay. If you didn't miss XP, you'd actually hit 3 off of this. Yeah. Which would be huge because if they're walking up here and you guys are Milio Lucian hitting 3 right here, this is just a fucking trade.
Yeah, it's wave 4, first wave before.
Yeah. Well, it's gonna be bouncing. It's kind of like bouncing soon, but they just don't have many minions to make you afraid of them. So like, I wouldn't want to. Again, I don't want to like dash into range of Rakan. But what you can do is, if Milio's going to give you W, is you should see that it's like, okay, just for the sake of consistency, where you're going to hit 3 here, right? We're not going to hit 3 here, but just for the sake of most games where you will, because we missed an XP. I want to know that I'm hitting 3 off this, and I want to be pinging like on the way, so that this guy's ready to W me. Same with if it's Nami, she's ready to E me. Or if it's like an engage support, so they're looking to like force a fight. But if I dash here, dash like this, well now Rakan can maybe W me out of my dash, so it kind of is like, is it good? Because then I get EQ'd by her. Well, if I have Milio's W, then I have extra range, and I could just dash like this, auto her, and just be done. Or like auto her, W her, and then be done. Because she's going to EQ away, or he's going to W. So you'll see it multiple times.
Like,
yeah?
I got confused a lot, because like I wasn't sure like how hard I'm supposed to go, or if a short trade ever looks good. Because like in my mind, when I'm hearing go, 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 my mind is going to like E, auto, Rakan W, flash on top of the Caitlyn, W her, fucking ignite. It's a whole ceremony going on.
Yeah. So again, in these cases, you have to short trade, because if you all in your like if you flash Rakan's W, if you're going into a spot where you're going to E and you're going to have to flash Rakan's W, or you're going to get blasted. That'll be like, you have to be really confident that you just win then. Which if this guy's not in a good position, and also like I just imagine that they'll just run away, like right, she'll just E away and like walk away at that point. So are short trades ever good? Absolutely. Like if you're just trying to get them into lethal because I have flash up, and I know as you do later, I can flash Rakan's W, and clearly you know how to do it. If you just see that lethal point, whatever it is, like this much HP, even that literally could be this, right? Where you're like, okay, now if I just dash into her face and then flash past Rakan W onto her, she loses. That's all you're trying to do, is get to that point. So every like small damage, yes, you only get 1 Milio W every once in a while, but if she's full HP, that 1 W onto just a dash auto attack into like your W fade away would be fine. That's like what, 200 damage with this passive, I guess. About like 180 to 200 ish. That's good. That's what we'll take that.
I get the Amelia healing.
Yeah.
Preferably the Amelia shield too, so it should just be free.
Yeah.
Is that what truly makes this like a really free trade to take? Is just the fact that Amelia has W and shield?
Yes, and well, it's a free trade because you're not going to let them hit you back really much. Like you're not going to be like committing to it in a position where they're going to hit you, right? Like let me see. He W's. See the range. You can see it. You don't need to like dash into Caitlyn, right? You could just, or you don't even need to dash like his max range. You could just try to dash where this is just going to be right there. Like right now Rakan's stacked on top of her, so no matter where you go to her to hit her, you'll be in a W position. But right now, like what you could do, do you think Rakan's going to W here? If you dash like right here, right? Right. Oh, so yeah. If I just dash in right like this, I can get an auto off onto her, and then I can just sidestep like for her E. That'd be my plan. I could just sidestep her E because she's going to react by E. And I don't need to like commit to doing like a full combo where, again, I don't need to commit to like an E auto. Like all I can do is I could just use this W by dashing like to right here, getting this right on the edge of her, hitting her with an auto, and then sidestepping her E whichever way like you feel like you want to. Right? Just up or down. Like she's going to E wherever you were, so just let's say you dashed here. She's gonna E like this, so you're gonna want to go like either a little bit inwards and up, or a little bit like backwards and down. Mm-hmm. Like just straight 90 degrees as best you can. You just have to see that angle. And there's no way Rakan W's you here.
If he does, he just takes 3 towers.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he'll take like 1, but yeah, Millie doesn't have to use E, but you'll be fine anyways.
Well, wouldn't the knock up? Or like
is there a trap right here? If there's a trap right here, be careful. Well, no, I didn't say dash. I said dash here. But yeah, down, I guess. If you went backwards, it'd be into a trap, but that's why we don't go backwards. Is there also a trap here? There's no way that's a trap, right? It's just Milia's W. Yeah.
It's just an artifact.
But yeah, every time you dash, her first reaction is just going to be that EQ, so you're just kind of playing around. This isn't like the biggest deal. I'm just saying, like, this is just the introduction. Like, you can just play for like, if Milia, especially if he's already used his W, you can just play your E to be like into the max range of her. If Rakan's not in a spot where he's gonna W you, like right now, if you had a like, let's say you're back here and Rakan's in here and Milia E's you, you could just dash in like again to the max range of her and then sidestep the E and you're done, or like throw a W out at the end. Because if you stay in place to get W into another auto or Q another auto. Yeah, you'll get the WQ off, but you're not going to get another off because she's going to immediately E you. And then she's gonna Q you, and if you get hit by that EQ, you lose the trade now.
Oh, I see. I did this in particular here just because I saw the minion was there, so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she can't.
This is the kill. Well, yeah. I wasn't saying right here. I was just saying in general. Like if right now you have a much better angle anyway. She did the Q. There's a minion. Yes, you see this minion. This is perfect.
Yeah, I just really needed to flash that.
Yeah. If you saw it earlier, just flash it. Yeah, it's good. And I'd say just ignite. Like as soon as right here, I would have already. Or I guess if you like flashing it and igniting it is okay too, but it's not that big of a deal. Like if she had heal, you should have ignited it as soon as you know you're ulting. So not here, but like right here. If she has heal, you have to ignite right now. Otherwise, her reaction right now is to heal, right? And then she's going to get full heal off. So you want to cut that heal. That's why it's so important if she has heal, but she doesn't have heal. So it's okay that you hold it for a little bit longer.
Got it. Goodbye.
Yeah. And then I want to just dump spells in his lane and get it pushed in ASAP. I'm back. And then I know it's just going to be the same exact thing the whole time, right? Trying to play around Milio's W, trying to find her walking up into a spot. I don't think we find any. Like you can play. You just want to play slow into that because now, if they ever try to do anything or they misstep, it's really easy for you to dash up here, like in front of a big wave. Because if they engage you, you just kite back. But again, just dash. If he gives you the W or like randomly, then just try to dash into like a max range auto under. So if right now I got a Milio W, I would maybe just E like here, hit her, and then back away, right? Just with those two autos, I don't need to dump anything more. Because I don't want to get hit by her E. So this is where we crashed, and I remember, I think I was saying crash this and move into their jungle, right?
Yep.
So I guess the wave is, the tower is pretty low, so you could commit to this, but I'm a little bit afraid, like, if we haven't seen Viego, it's a little bit risky, right? So, you have to keep that in mind. If you've seen Viego, definitely go get this. You have your dash up so Rakan doesn't hit you, so getting this plate's fine. If you haven't seen Viego in a while, which you didn't hear, we just want to go up and scout. And if Milio comes with you, like, look how free this is. If Milio comes with you, by the way, if they're mid, this is also a time where, like, if their mid laner's pushing it, I want to look at mid, just see his HP, or if he's low, then you just can stop by mid and, like, I mean, even if Syndrome needs a bailout, you can help out mid real quick and then loop back down. You have a pretty good timer here. But I think we just get a free kill on Viego here, no? Because we just walked up to go ward.
Yep. That's exactly what we do.
Warding this bush is... I would rather just ward right here. Essentially, they cover the same vision, right? Because you don't see past this wall anyways.
But one has me face check a bush.
One has you face check a bush and cross this wall, where if the jungler's like right here and Rakan's coming this way, you're pinched. So it takes more time to get here. You're in a bit bigger choke, and like this just does the exact same. But arguably, this like can do more. I guess this one maybe just opens up like this angle more. Yeah, but you don't really need to see here if you can see. Yeah. From here, you can literally see, do they go like any way they go to.
Got it.
Yeah, this guy's crazy. Like, the reason we wanted to, like, I said to just go on him is because on the map you see Rakan down here.
Yeah, I don't really know how Viego works. Of, like,
he's fucking useless. That's like
it's like I know he's got like his stabby dash thing that stuns you, and then like that bar where he like jumps and does the circle thing. But yeah, like
if he was level 6, I'd be a little bit afraid.
Yeah,
Viego is like, pretty weak, to be honest. Like unless he has items, he's pretty weak and it's like full on 1v1.
Specifically with like his invisibility, like I don't know like when I'm supposed to be seeing him. Like I got really close to him like right here. And
it wasn't even close. Look at this. Like I know you got Milio, but like a big part of it is that you press the attack, you have ignite, and you have full spells. Like your full combo is so strong, and you have serrated Dirk. If you just had D-Blade right now, you're not going to burst him like this, of course. But with these items, you should see this as like like pretty much whoever this is, you could kill them. I don't think you'll lose a 1v1 to almost anybody in the jungle as Lucian with a serrated Dirk level 5 full HP ignite. I'm trying to think, and I don't think there's really any. Maybe fucking Rammus. I don't know.
Oh god.
Like, I guess it depends on items too, but I think there are very few champions unless they're level 6 that you will lose this to. So that's why I want, again, like when you crash this, already be pinging up here so that your Milio comes with, because especially if Milio's with you, there's nobody beating you guys. Nobody. You're one-shotting anybody you come across. I don't know what this guy's smoking that he thought that he was going to commit to you like this, but he got a fucking wake-up call real quick. And I didn't want us to like hover in the river here because Silas was in mid. I guess I don't know if you reset or what his HP was, but if he's coming from like up here right now, and then we just hover like this, could be a rough angle because Syndra just used her E. Yeah, we don't have spells. Syndra doesn't have spells. Milio's kind of low. Like, could just become awkward. So I just want to commit and get down. And then you're also helping. Like, you're kind of going towards where Hecarim's pathing to. I think, like, looking at it again, I mean, like, Silas mid, yeah, okay, he was just mid anyway, so he was kind of looking to hover, but yeah, this guy trolled this. That side dash was, I guess it's okay, because if you go in, then Caitlyn's just going to beat the shit out of you, but Rakan just put himself in the lethal. Okay, so this is where I was saying, oh yeah, we were saying contest this wave, right? Because I know you're going to hit 6, and we're strong, we have Serrated Turk. I don't think Caitlyn has, like, maybe more than a, like, long sword. Maybe she has 2 long swords. I don't know, like, maybe we'll see at some point, but
yeah, I don't know.
With your spells, yeah. If you're low mana, you can't. Well, you have a biscuit, but if even not that, if you're like really low mana, you can't really contest this well, right? But you have nearly full mana, so you're totally comfortable putting some spells into this to just get this back in your favor. Because again, if they engage on you two, you don't lose. If they engage on Milio, you just dash at Caitlyn. Like, I mean, if they were closer. Right here, we don't dash at her because she's so far away, she'll E anyways. So this is fine that you hit Rakan, but if it was like a different angle, where they're kind of stacked together. I just don't imagine they do that anyways, but... Yeah, so this is where, yeah, so we hit 6, we just dump the R onto her, which is fine. Like, right here, I would just say cancel it and kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah, walk up and press E.
So even with this, though, what could be good is, like, if you cancel this and you just, like, auto Q, auto M, yeah, again, for one, he'll get in range. For two, you've already gotten her so low that you'll just dive her.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you'll probably need to get a spell rotation up because we don't have much mana anymore, but...
yeah, I was just the one auto away as well.
Yeah, I would even say right here, if you see with like this Rakan just kind of piss chilling his bush, the thing that's kind of tough to go for him is if you look like you're commit to him, he might just like W away and E. So, but it could still be a kill with your ulti, I guess. But again, I want you to see that we can turn this wave around. Like, this was big. Because if you let them push this, they're just going to back up and reset, or they're just going to play the bounce where you're not. It's going to be a little bit harder to find the angle. But you can catch them by surprise, just knowing, okay, look at I'm close to 6. I don't want to give them this push. I don't want to give them like a safe crash angle. I want to like fight this. Rakan W, like I want to literally just surprise them with the 6 spike.
Mm-hmm.
Is this where we do we dive them here? Am I crazy? No. Okay, they just no.
I think it's next back.
Yeah, they reset.
Because I remember you were like, "Oh yeah, backing on full items each time for Lucian feels amazing." We do the freeze for a while, and then we chunk them.
Yeah, so you asked like, "Do I ever freeze this?" Of course you do, because you're full HP, full mana. You have your ult coming up. Like a long lane for Lucian is just a fucking gun him down in the streets with your ulti angle, right? Like, good luck. Yeah, because I mean they can't play the game against you anymore. Like as soon as you your goal, by the way, earlier is just like rather than thinking about like how do I kill them, just think about like how do I not let them play the lane. Like what you should just be trying to get them to a point where it's like, okay, they can't play the lane right now. So like small amounts of damage will just potentially get them to a point where they're lethal, which means that they just can't play the lane right now. And if they try to play the lane right now, they die. Right? That's the concept I want to like try to think about. So right now, with this Frozen here, with you and Milio being Lucian Milio with like these items, can they play the lane?
No.
Not right, because if they ever walk up, you just ult them. So you just need to ask yourself when you're looking for a freeze: does this freeze prevent them from playing the game or playing the lane, or will they just walk up and like play the lane anyways? Because if they're going to be able to walk up and play the lane anyways, then probably don't try to freeze it and just try to turn it around into a slow push for yourself. But otherwise, if that freeze means, hey, you guys just die if you walk up, you guys can't play the lane, then absolutely go for freeze. Someone's cruising out there. But right, so look at this Caitlyn, dude. She can't fucking play the game. She's so mad right now. And then you're just playing for your Ignite cooldown. As soon as you have Ignite up, you'll just be able to go in for this guy dashing in. Good damage. That's fine. That's fine for you. So what you want to think about too as Lucian with Emilio is you want to think about being in a position where if they go onto this guy, you want to be in a spot where you can follow up. So your positioning right now gets a little bit weird where you go back down here. Like, I don't like this anymore. I want to be in this line with this guy. Like, I know you'll tank minions for a second, but that's okay. You can like pull them down for a second, or you can even like step in the bush with him for a second to get them to stop aggroing, and then come back out here. But I do want you to just know, like, we do not want to leave this line for a while, because if they like Rakan will W, and we know he's not going to die, but if you're in a better spot and Rakan W's, he's dead. Like, if you were a little bit further, like, they probably don't go for this, by the way, if you're a little bit further up. Which, honestly, this is a losing trade because Emilio goes to, like, low HP, but it's okay because you just 1v2 them with Emilio W. Anyway. But, if you're right here and they did this, I mean, this guy can't get away. No way. And again, if they don't do it anyways, that's fine, because they're just not allowed to play the lane anyway, and you'll just force a kill on them over time. I want you to, like, every time you're kind of like thinking like, okay, we're stronger, we can fight, just start spam pings, because again, pings are just to tell this Millie like, hey, get on board. I think this is where I was like, you should just go. Yeah. Like, this is really good damage. So again, we could have canceled. Maybe if you're really fast with the cancel, like auto, maybe they die. Maybe they get a range before you get the last one off. But either way, this is still good, because again, look at this wave that you're crashing at this timing. Can they play the lane? No. And guess what they're going to try to do?
Play the lane.
And guess what's going to happen?
They're going to die.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Play the lane.
Right, so this is why, like, once you have this wave stacked up too, like, if you have it frozen, they're just never playing, right? But when you turn this into, like, the slow push, which it eventually just became, whether it's on purpose or not, if you just notice this is a timing that you really want to be like, okay, if we see Viego top, for example, otherwise if we don't see them, we want to get vision down, and we want to really force on them some damage, so that when this big wave does hit their tower, hopefully they can't play, because they'll die. If they make any mistake before this crashes, they die. And with your ulti, you can just use that as the tool to be like, hey, you tried to walk anywhere near these minions' XP range, you're immediately getting blasted. It's like Lucian's art does a really good job forcing that.
Gotcha.
Like, otherwise, I would literally, like, at this point, as this wave's coming in here, I would just, like, probably drop these two casters, and I would just go ward, like, in this area for Viego. Just so, I don't care that I'm going to miss this gold, I'm already snowballed, but with this ward, I can, on this wave coming in, I can force with my R. I don't care about those two casters, like, literally. I'd rather have these melees on the next wave anyways. So if I can drop those, get that ward down, I can play really, really aggressive right here. Right now, we could do it because we saw Viego, but if we didn't see him, I'm just mentioning that to you. Like, you don't have to feel like you need every single caster minion, every single melee minion. If there's a window for you to, like, see these, like, because you can see, obviously, like, bro, if we had to choose between those two casters and creating this situation, like, this situation's just better every single time. Like, this literally creates... I lost 28 gold to create this situation. Caitlyn's going to lose 250 gold.
Yep.
And XP. And if she tries to play this, she loses all of it and dies. Or like even if this situation wasn't here, you actually could, if we were fast with like the cancel into auto Q, you actually maybe she died there, right? Which would have literally just been the exact, she would have been missing that. Yeah, Hecarim should not be doing blue right now. He should just be coming here because he can take blue after he kills them. But whatever. So rewatching this dive, this is fine. See, like you panic to like get out, but why? You're not taking tower. Just be like, hey, nice damage, Rakan. Lol, you're still dead. Hecarim's just gonna hit you. You still got both them, but I think Milio doesn't die.
Yeah, maybe it was just my master plan to let this guy die.
Yeah. So you could, by the way, you could absolutely let this come into you. Like it'll slow push into you, and then you can just come back to lane and catch it like in a freeze. Just up to you. I think you're fast enough to push this. You have Hecarim behind here anyway, so I think just push this wave, make Caitlyn miss this cannon potentially, right? It's fine. Mm-hmm. But if you're like, especially if you're low mana, then yeah, reset there every time. If you're playing a champion that you don't think you push it fast enough, or if you're low mana, or if Hecarim wasn't there and Viego, like literally if Hecarim was just not here, I would have said don't do it, because then you don't have anything scouting out Viego like at all. But
got it.
So this is like the same thing like earlier where I was like, okay, drop those 2 caster minions to go put a ward down real quick to come back for the like force on that wave coming in, like that big wave. This is the same concept. Like right now, I don't care that you got the melees, because like if you abandon melees to come up here, they just leave. But right now you're here, they're past this wall, committing to Milio. Dude, fuck the casters. Like just kill these guys. They're trolling. You have Kraken Slayer, you're massive. Like I don't even see how you're still committed to these 2 casters. Yeah. You should already be like past these traps. Just you have flash up again. Rakan doesn't have ulti up yet. That's for sure. It's probably up soon, but he definitely doesn't have it yet, right? I'd be very surprised if he did. Because it's been like 1 minute exactly.
Stop hitting the little minions when you got 2 big minions in front of you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it's like the same thing. Like, if you can just fight them here, even if they live, if you get them really low on HP here, they can't play the lane. Yeah. So, and then again, it's the same thing. If they try to play the lane under the tower, you're just going to dive them with your ulti. When it's like,
yeah, I should really just be pressing E over that wall right
now.
Yeah,
you should just or if anything, just start moving like into like this position where you're not going to need to dash past the traps. Because like literally, if you don't auto this minion or like step back and then like auto this one, you could just be in a position, or you could even be kiting the minions and probably still get to this position. But okay, if Hecarim and Syndra weren't here, I would say like just get on them. But with them being here, they like cannot come down here if you're here. So you can either just be here and catch them coming into you. Sorry, that was bad. You can be here and either catch them coming this way, or you can be here and then move up this way when they start to go that way. Start to go up. And I'd imagine we see Rakan W Milio here too. Yeah, so this was the sign. Like, as soon as this W comes out, you should just be going in. I think because we have vision in the tri-bush too. Like, no vision in this tri-bush, I would assume probably, okay, Viego's here. But with vision here, and you're flat, I don't even care if Viego's late to this, you're just going to one-shot somebody. So, minions should not be prioritized there. We do get the kill. And then we go crash this to go dragon. Okay, this is, and now we're just doing the same thing. So you'd be doing the same concept, by the way, where you're trying to get a big wave. You're just trying to play slow and then stand up here, and if it's the same thing over and over now, right? If they walk up, you get some damage onto them. Right now, with how strong you are, it's literally like with Milio W, a dash into auto is 300 plus damage. So, and then you crash the big wave, and they die to your ulti. Like, that's all you're trying to do is that on repeat now. Like, that's how you just close this out. And if they've just AFK'd and they're super healthy, and you don't like you can't dive them Hecarim topside, right? Like, for example, right now, if we just crash right now, your ult's down. Well, then we can just use this timer to go scout for Viego again. Mm-hmm. Which I think is what I'll try to say to do in a bit here. Maybe after this wave. Well, this one's Rakan shows up mid. Okay, yeah, Rakan showed up mid there, so we went for just the ult on her. But I want you to see this faster. Like, this just look like right there. I would even just maybe move for ult on her. Like, you see the Rakan was in mid or Rakan's gone. Just get her low enough to dive her, because you'll shit on her. Like, if your ulti just does half her HP, she's insta dead. Like when this wave crashes. So if you'd use this a little bit earlier, I think, you know, the minions wave's not there. It's a little bit unfortunate, but just now that you see it, it's good. And then as soon as you push her off the wave like this, you can just, even if this tower is healthy, you can just stand here. Or like if she's in the lane, you can just zone her off by going up here. No XP for you. Or you can hit the tower from like right here. Make sure we left the cannon die on that tower though. That was good. And this was fine too that you saw. Like I like this. You were gonna go top, or we were gonna go top because our turnover just died. We were gonna push out top while Syndra farms mid, then move down to Dragon with it coming up soon. But they were like, you saw this position from your team. Like they all, Hecarim's position in mid, Syndra's position mid. Their enemies' teams are like Viego was there. It's okay to go look for the fish for the fight there. That's totally fine. Because if you're there and it fights, you snowball the game. And here I just wanted you to be with your team, just so that if this dragon fight breaks out, if you're already here, if you're like greedy to catch a mid wave and your team's already like moved down here, it's impossible for you to follow now. Like that fight's too hard to get into. Because I think 4v5, you guys are actually fine. I don't think you guys should start the dragon 4v5. You guys can just let Tryndamere push while you guys just dance around. But whatever. Like, okay, so when Garen showed up, I would have rather you move this way. Instead of into this pit. Because if Rakan, let's say like Rakan is now just like this guy gets onto these two or whatever, they start hitting him, and Rakan comes out from either like here or here and just starts walking in. Where are you gonna go, right? If he doesn't R right away, if he presses R like here or here, what do you do?
Yeah, he
like
has me dead to right, especially if he has his flash.
Yeah, if he can get onto you and then Silas can like combo onto you, like in this game, and then Viego can combo onto you. Yeah,
I think the fantasy in my head is I see him coming and I just walk further into the pit and then I E over the wall, but then I'm just out of the fight. And
yeah, exactly. That was what I was gonna say.
That's probably also just not reality. Reality is I would hit the Garen and I'd be locked in the animation and then I would get R flash.
Because, yeah, the problem is if you go this way to get out and you get over this wall, now you're just out of the fight. That's really awkward. You could probably without stronger flash back in, but it's like, that's it. Here, as soon as Garen shows up, if he just like walks down here and you just go this way, well now if Garen commits to them, you can just kind of go in and hit, yeah. Or if Rakan now shows up down here, you can just wait out Rakan's W onto your team and then you can go in. So you just wait out the threat. So like now Rakan comes in and thankfully he's like, I'm gonna go for these guys, even though you are the person he has to hit. Like, it's crazy by the way that he just ignored you like that. And I don't really like the R. Like, don't use R if you can auto. So like right here, you're in auto range, don't use your R. Use the autos, just combo, press the attack off. And then, like, here, if you dash and then like, Garen has flash out or whatever, now you can finish with R. If they're getting away, you can kill Garen and then R the Rakan. Like, that's way, way, way more consistent.
Yeah, it was probably not even, like, much of a difference in damage.
What I would say R would be okay is, like, if Garen's a really big threat, and if it was like this, let's say Garen can, like, shit on you, right? He's fed or whatever, and it's you fed and Garen comes out like this and it's just, like, running at you. And you're running away. Now just R him and run away. That's fine. Because now you're putting him to a position where, like, once your R ends, you can finish him off with the rest of your, like, the others combo. But if you open with autos, he's going to get onto you, right? But in that position, he's already used everything on these two. There's no one getting onto you. Just auto.
Got it.
Yeah, I didn't want to do Dragon here because even though Viego was top, like, it's going to take you forever because you're not going to be able to use your mana on it. And if they come out while you have no mana because you used on Dragon, you just die. This is okay too. And then after this Dragon, the reason I talked about was we do not want to farm mid. Like, a lot of people will be like, okay, well, I just finished Dragon, let me go clear this mid wave out, right? And then push them back. Problem is, your team's all resetting right now, so if you do that, you'll fuck up the tempo. Because you'll clear mid wave, and then you'll have to go back, you're rich. And then your team is like, your Syndra's maybe bought and your Tryndamere's top, but they can't push because there's no mid pressure. So if they push, they just die. And it's just like slows the game down a lot. Because especially with this wave spawning here, if you kill this one, then you're going to be like, well, now I got to kill the next one too. And it's like, it just slows the game down a lot. So recalling ASAPs just for pace. It's okay that they're going to push mid wave in first. It's not like they can do anything with it. There's a Baron up, but there's no way they're just doing Baron. Okay, then. This is what I like timestamped here. So.
The W thing.
Oh, you saw that? That wasn't what I was talking about, but you'll see what. Okay, maybe you know what I mean by this. All right, so like you auto.
Like why did I auto it if I could have just pressed Q then W?
Yeah, well, I don't care if you don't. If you're gonna W, if you're gonna W, just use W to kill all these, and you're auto on the cannon to kill all faster. If you're not gonna W, then it's okay, just auto these and auto the rest of them. But if you're gonna W, just making it all clear faster. Like that's maybe only like 2 seconds faster, but
2 seconds matters.
Speed, habits too.
Speed.
Speed. Okay, so this is where you said. Okay, you're not gonna get the move, but this is where you said. Do you remember what you said?
No.
You said, I feel like being here, I'm wasting time because I can't be pushing mid or I'm not first to mid.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter right now. Because even if you're first to mid, you can't touch this wave anyways. Look at the map.
Mm-hmm.
If you try to be contesting this mid wave, the only thing you're risking is that their whole team jumps out of this gray on you guys and catches you in mid. Because right now, you have to assume, with all the missing, that their team is trying to fish for a fight here to make a comeback play. Or even if it's not a comeback play, just to make a play. Because they're not answering to the side lanes yet. And first of all, they don't even need to answer to bot right now because it's pushed in. Like, look how much time they have. Right? They have a window here. They don't need to be top until here. So your job is not to have prio in mid. Your job is to let these guys get pressure. Once they get pressure, now we get the prio in mid to be able to match the pressure wherever we go. So the only thing that pushing mid up here could do without all this vision is like you might get caught. And even if it's like 50% of the time you got, 50% of the time you're not, or even 30% of the time, that's like you throw the game if you die because they can just force Baron now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're shut down. So like I don't even want you to walk through here, dude. What if Rakan just RWs over this wall and they just all flash over this wall? Like that can literally happen. And it will sometimes. Like it's probably happened before. So right now your job is literally, okay, this is all gray.
The most terrifying wall for me is
the
Gromp wall.
Really? Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. Top laners love to camp find that. But
it's actually so I thought Silas was there at one point in the game. I'm like, oh god.
Yep.
I'll play to the right, so maybe he's in the bush. I don't know.
Right. But so I want you to see that. Like you don't need to be a mid right now. You need to these guys need to get pressure first. Once they start moving up, then their team's gonna have to answer to these. And once they're answering to these, now I know I'm safe to have mid prio, and I'm stronger than their Caitlyn by far. So now this Caitlyn can't contest me in mid. So now we're just gonna permanently have prio. And then say it again.
I didn't quite on it.
Okay, so right now, these guys are trying to get their push up for pressuring the side lanes, right? They're trying to get pressure in the side lanes by pushing, but they don't have it yet, right? They're not on the towers yet, so the enemy team doesn't need to answer these pushes until it's under tower. They might try to be fishing in some area. They're obviously not down here, but in other games, sometimes they might be fishing for a pick on the side lane while they're pushing. That's fine. However, until you know they're doing that, you have to just always assume, even if it's wrong, because you don't know, is that they're just fishing in the gray area around mid. Mm-hmm. Wait for the enemies to answer the side lane push. Once they've answered, that means that they're not mid, right? Because they're in the side lane. So you wait till Silas goes to match Syndra, and I don't even know who their top laner was. Garen's matching Tryndamere. Well, now it's a 3v3 in mid if Hecarim is around. Or even 2v3, if it's 2v3, you're so strong that you're so confident that you could probably just 2v3 them. That's fine. But now, once they've answered the side lanes, now I can play for mid prio. Because I know that where the enemies are. And they're not going to just jump out at me in mid. So right now, it's just like we want mid prio, sure, but we're just not allowed to get it. Because we don't know where the enemies are, and we don't want to make that so this is do I make the risky plays or do I stomp it? That kind of plays into it. This is a risky play for you to try to walk here and push mid.
looking at this freeze frame, like the whole entire thing looks super scary.
Yeah.
Like
That's
walking here is scary. Honestly, my birds look scary. This wall looks scary.
yeah, exactly. So
This lane looks scary.
what you could do right now is just finish killing this wave. They're still not on the map, and then just move down here and go play with your Hecarim.
Yeah.
And then, let these guys keep going out, and then as soon as enemies show, okay, well, now we can go for mid-prio. But, so that's why when you said right here, you were like, I think I'm wasting time by not being mid-first. Just know, you don't need to be mid-first, because it's kind of illegal for you to try to, most people's thought process was, well, they're probably moving to the side lane to stop them right now. And they probably are, but they might not be. Because in Challenger games, I know it's not Challenger, but in high-low, and this will happen in your games, it's just about consistency, but just for the thought process, in higher tier games, this is extremely dangerous because they know you have a shutdown. And their thought process is, okay, we don't need to be here right now, we actually probably need to make a miracle play, let's just bet on Lucian being greedy here.
Yep. They just want to rob the bank. I'm the bank.
And in lower elo, they don't think about that, but they do it. They don't think about it the same way, but they'll do it because the Lucian will always be greedy. Because our mind is just, let's get mid-prio. I'm strong, I need to push mid first, because that's my job. That's how it feels.
Yeah.
But it's not true. You need to wait until you're allowed to push mid. This is, right now, it's their turn to make a decision on what they want to do with their time, waiting for these to crash. So you need to spend their turn being defensive and just waiting for them to show what they're doing. And then, by the way, after their turn's used, if they don't match this and you don't die in mid, okay, well, these guys get side lane turrets. If they go match these, well, now you permanently have mid-prio. Because you're stronger. But there's that one turn that they have right here. This is their one opportunity to catch you in mid. For the next, few minutes.
And I'm giving it to them.
And you could have given it to them. So, right now, okay, we see Silas inside, and I think Garen was just top. Okay, Garen's top. You're walking up in this wave a little bit. Yeah, should be a little bit slow.
I started counting bodies here.
Yeah, and then you saw Silas pop up. So now I'm like, okay, well, if I Milio next to me, I don't care at all. I'm just going to push. But that's only because you're really strong and you have Milio and you guys are really strong together. If you're, alone here, I'd still be afraid. Or in other games, I'd still be afraid because even if it's 3v3 or you're stronger, Vercon ulti can change the game very quickly for you. So maybe in that case, I still want to just be safe and wait for Hecarim to be nearby. But right now, what I would be thinking now is okay, well, after I push this mid wave, what am I going to do? Are you just going to keep walking up with it? Probably not, because Hecarim's not even nearby you. So you're just, again, it's a new turn. Their turn, your guys' turn was used on the side lanes. Right now, this is a new turn. There's a window because Garen doesn't need to be top again until this wave's going to come here. And Sydra's recalling. So pushing top or pushing through mid too far is greedy because Garen could be using his turn setting up for pick and mid again. Same thing, over and over again. So maybe I just push this mid wave out and I'm either looking to move top for Tryndamere if Garen shows up here, or I'm just going to go, if my Hecarim's moving like this, I'll just go hover with him instead of just wasting time in mid because I can't pop out.
Yeah, this is the moment where I kill the wave. I don't really use my abilities to... Okay, now I'm doing it, but then I kill the wave, and then I'm just going to keep right-clicking.
Yeah, so what I would be doing... So this is where I was my first instinct, Baron is up, but I don't think they're going to do it. It would just be okay, Hecarim's clearly trying to do something here. So I'd probably just start moving down with him.
Yeah, this Hecarim's cooking.
And if Garen showed top and Hecarim's in top side, I would just be spam pinging to go to Garen. Because we can just come behind even. I mean, depending on it, that's just an example of what you could do. I don't know if I'd actually go for the Garen right now or not, just kind of with how much CC we have, or depends how far up he is, really. Yeah. But if you look at top and you see Garen engaging on Tryndamere, now I'd just start fucking going because they're gonna fight to the death.
So, can you pause here? When I'm on that neutral wave.
So our rotation's slow, and you can see that this wave's already here now, so we might as well just play for prio again.
Yeah.
You can actually see, look at Hecarim was going for a play. So if you were already moving down, you'd be right here. And now, because their team again is going to have a turn where you're going to be playing for mid prio, Rakan could move down first with Viego. But if you're already here, Viego shows up. Okay, well we win because Rakan and Caitlyn aren't here yet.
Gotcha.
And if they don't show, it's okay to be late.
So should it just be a habit that when I'm on this neutral mid wave here, well, I guess
Mm.
it's not necessarily neutral, but should I just be immediately looking at the map, like freeze
Yes.
framing here, and just thinking, where do I go now?
Yes.
So like, if I'm really quick on this, do I like quickly try to go bot, or am I
You
looking at the
look.
top?
You gotta look. So like right now, you should already be looking like what's the situation? What's the situation looking like? So let me
Yeah,
just
so I would
emphasize from
say,
here. Let me just emphasize from here again, just real quick. What we're looking at from here was this is the first mid we push, and Hecarim's in the bottom side. And he doesn't look like he wants to reset because I mean, he's full HP, full mana. Syndra reset, and he's still on the map. So I would go play with this guy. Because Garen versus Tryndamere is a very hard thing to catch, right? Garen could just, like, if Tryndamere tries to engage on him, Garen's probably just going to run away. And, like, it's, from here to the top is going to be hard to catch him, right? So I would probably just start hovering down here. So, actually, I wanted to frame it this way first. Sorry, let me step back. You pushed this out and you created a turn for your team, right? If this is like a turn-based game, if we think about it like a turn-based game, you're creating a turn for you and Milio to do something active on the map. If you don't use this turn, you can catch another mid wave to create the next turn on your turn again, because you're always going to have prow because you're so strong, essentially, right? So you can just sit here and chill and wait, and you in the spare time catch raptors and wolves. That's if you don't, like, maybe Hecarim and Syndra both reset. Okay, great.
just go get the camps.
Right. Otherwise, if you already saw Hecarim and Syndra resetting and there's no camps, as soon as you kill this wave, I'd probably reset and spend my 1025 gold on a pickaxe. So that my next turn's stronger. But on this turn, we see Hecarim down here, so let me go move with him. And if nothing happens, well, basically because we left mid, if they stayed in mid and nothing happened, they're going to get one turn in return. Because they're going to be at the next mid wave first, and they're going to be able to push and get priority to use their turn. You see what I mean? So if you're perma AFK in mid, and you're just pushing, you're creating turns for yourself, but if you're only in mid, you're never using that turn. You're basically just giving a pass and still making the turn. You guys are basically just passing back to each other. And for them, on defense, they're fine with that because they're like, well, we're catching gold. I mean, if you're a scaling team, you're kind of happy with that too, but I mean, Lucian, you want to push your lead especially. I mean, even if you're not a scaling team, if you're winning early, you kind of generally, like, as an ADC, you're just looking to be like, push mid prowl, use my turn to play with team. Whoever I see. So, were you gonna ask something real quick?
Yeah. So this is just like, this is something that makes sense, but it's also something that's hard for me. Because like, I feel like it feels like the answer has been in front of my face a long time, but it's also like, I'm a very big fan of just ignoring everything that's happening and just clicking the minions.
Mm-hmm.
But it is also just realizing that when I'm strong like this, I can just literally walk at people and they all die.
Well, yeah, and most of the time too is if you like go to hover and you don't make it like the turn, nothing happens. Maybe like Hecarim doesn't find anybody. Okay, well if Syndra was on a reset, well then I can just be the one to catch this bot wave, push it in, and then reset, and then she can push this catch this mid wave because they're gonna have prio, remember? So she'll catch this one here, and then I'm resetting base, and then she can just move back down, and I can move back mid, and we're back to the same position. Or if Syndra's here and stayed, and I moved down to try to use this turn with Hecarim, then when I'm here, like nothing happens, well I'll just go catch this one again. And just know that they'll have turns. So you're not going to miss any CS if you're fast about it and like good at noticing it. It's going to take practice, and you will miss CS sometimes. But like, funny enough, you know, I didn't know what was going to happen here before I said like this play of going to hover with Hecarim and mentioning Viego and Rakan going down. But Hecarim goes behind, spots Silas here, and guess who's going to pop out from River now? Viego. Yeah, so if you were there, they're trying to answer this because again. Why are they trying to answer this? Well, because they know they can't play until the waves are here or push mid, so they have a little bit of a turn to use.
Yeah, I don't necessarily get a kill, but Silas just dies.
Yeah, but if you're here, like especially in the games that like your Silers are losing, this is where you sway the game really hard by just being proactive with these.
Got it. Truthfully, though, there's a lot more warding going on in this game than in my usual suspects.
Yeah, well, even without wards, like if you and Millie are going down together, no Viego's gonna one shot you. You just and you might have to safe path more. Like if you're scared, you don't have to go through river to get to the Heck Room, but you can follow him from like 10 seconds behind him, where you're just going the same path, safe pathing. That's fine. You have to, especially if you're on defense, you have to do that. But if you're on defense, you're essentially doing the same thing, by the way. But like while you're waiting for them to push into you, like if you're this Caitlyn, right?
You're basically just catching the wave and then you're rotating.
So if if I'm Caitlyn right now, I know that I can't walk up to this wave right now with the chance that you might still be here. I have to just think about that. You might be already moving bot, you might not be. I just have to respect the idea. But if I'm Caitlyn, I'm gonna just preemptively be like, okay, well if he's moving bot, I need to match, so I'll like take this path back here. Like I'll save path like safely through my jungle where we have vision, whatever, and meet down here. And I might be too late to the fight, it might not be, but I have to because I can't be mid anyways, because if you're mid, it's just a waste of my time now. And if you show mid again when I'm on my way bot, okay, well great, I can just bounce back to mid. Or if I'm on my way bot and you show mid again, and this fight's happening, oh, well now we've just won a bot fight because their bot lane's not here. And that's pretty fucking based because I need some gold in the game as Caitlyn. I'm getting shit on. I need some fucking gold. So thank you. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of that's what I would be thinking about. But if you have no vision of your jungle, you might not be able to move at all. So then we finally here, I was like, okay, push this wave out, let's move, let's use it. Garen's really overextended, so we're just gonna move to him. Because like, think about it, from here, if Trinamir just keeps chasing all the way, and you guys can cut off. But if Garen's like here and you're here, well, now even if he starts chasing, he gets to tower way before you make it there. So that's the difference in why we can make it top for this Garen here. And when he shows here, you should have taken this Hex Gate, but...
Oh.
Most games there won't be that Hex Gate, so it is what it is, but...
75% of games, that's
not
what I did is correct.
Yeah.
This is not 75% of games. I also feel like a beast there. I completely sidestepped the Recon W.
Yeah, you did. You played this fight really, really well. Good kills. And that happens because we moved. And their team tries to help, but we have a massively fed Lucian. So, like, by the way, if you don't move, that never happens. Like, if you don't move from top, like, from this play to start going top to the Garen, this will never happen. Like, if instead of this, we're like, oh, there's nobody on the map, so let me just go to Raptors and farm my, like, camps. You could do that, but I would only do that if there's literally nothing to do on the map. If there's literally zero chance. Like, if I'm like, this guy's never dying up here, there's no way we get him, or he's, like, already backing off. Or, if all my team's in base or whatever, like, and Garen's just gonna clear this wave and back off because it's hitting this tower to be illegal, then, you know, whatever, I'll just back up and go farm. But, oh, that's, like, something that you don't want to do, you just do because there's nothing else to do. Because camps really don't give you that. Okay, then now we're just back to the same pattern.
Did the camps used to give you more?
I don't know. Probably. I think it used to give everybody the same, and then they made it like give more to jungle, less to laners, so the laners would stop taking them from junglers. You know? Actually, yeah, it definitely used to give more. It definitely used to. Like, they're still not bad. They give decent gold and stuff, but their XP is pretty abysmal. Like, it's not a wave at all. So we're back at the same thing, where now every time you're pushing a mid wave, you're going to want to start thinking, like, right now, what should we do? What should we be thinking about?
Well, I'd be kind of thinking about rotating towards the dragon since
yeah.
About to spawn.
Good.
Or if the dragon wasn't spawning, then I'd probably be looking towards top.
Yeah. Yeah, so you could do that. And also, if Syndra's like playing way up here, okay, let's say that Hecarim's in this area, there's no dragon, but Hecarim's here, Syndra's like up here. Now what are we gonna do?
Well, I would just follow them because they're looking.
Yeah, good, yeah. Perfect. So you just push this out and you immediately just start moving to play for bot tower.
Just follow up on the Hecarim's promiscuous behavior.
Yep. But you're right, you're just gonna push that wave out and you're just looking at the map, go on dragon. Good. See, this was a much better R to start off with just because Viego will die from it.
Yeah, and he's kind of falling away, so I can't really auto him.
Yep.
I just did it because I saw that the Sentry hit Scour of the Week.
Yeah, it was really good.
Also, this is Everfrost Recon, by the way. Is that a thing?
Um,
I don't think so.
I mean, I've
Yeah,
seen
it
a
is.
couple Everfrost Recon build. Yeah, just extra CC, but yeah, this is where you, I think,
Oh,
could easily kill this guy quickly with
yeah,
Ignite.
just need to be
You just need
the
it.
man.
Yeah, instead of this click back, you should have just immediately been on him. Like W auto, E auto, Q auto, Ignite. Like with Ignite there, he's just instant dead. But instead, he gets like pretty far away from you, and then he has time to react because he got cooldowns back up.
I also kind of just stood there.
Yeah, it's a big difference.
Definitely could have kited him or like
Mhm.
clicked buttons.
Well, now we're all
But
back
yeah,
to the same stuff.
it's very interesting. This is just a very stark contrast of like how the league ladder experience has been beforehand.
What
Because
do
I
you mean?
feel like a lot of my games just came down to the fact that I was like just up 100 CS in my laner, and then like we just took a front to back, and then we a clicked, and then we won. But like that's not reality. Like that's just everybody misplayed so hard, but like one guy just got a little bit more oomph. But like this makes sense because it feels like you're just no matter what side of the coin of whether you're ahead or behind, you're in some kind of situation. There's a clear way that you need to play it out
Yep.
because there's just going to be events that are just going to happen, and you need to know. You just need to be there for the event.
Yep. Exactly. But yeah, just that's mostly what I want you to focus on is like that early, the early few levels that we talked about. Is everything? But the early few levels that we talked about with like letting the wave come into you, using your ability, how you want to use your abilities, thinking about it, and then just setting up, and then just on slow push, just setting up for the stuff, not obsessing over every single minion, but rather just like getting set up for yourself, setting up the kills, and then it's like mid game. It's that using your lead with exactly what we spent like the last 20 minutes talking about, those setup timers, right? And whenever the wave's into you guys, just know it's their turn. Or if your team, if they're all off the map, it's kind of just like their turn. You just have to wait for them to show up and use their turn wherever they're using it, and then you get to play the game again and make it your turn.
Hell yeah!
But I mean, this was a fucking solid carry game, though. You stomped it. I think you.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure you can consistently do it. Just have to use those concepts continuously.
yeah. I felt like for the most part, like I can do all of this mechanically. Uh, it's just I gotta hope my brain's working. So if I were to write a couple notes, um, okay, get out of this. So I think the I'll divide it into lane phase versus out of lane phase. Um, it's like when I am in the lane phase, it's playing. So the first thing was like don't full leash because um or like it's deep.
Yeah,
Because like you're talking,
it's
we
all
talked about it.
situational stuff. Yeah, don't full
Yeah.
leash if it means giving up like giving the enemy just the first position in lane is the best way to put it. There's Karma Kate, yeah. Karma Ezreal, Karma Kate. Just anybody that's like them having position means you can't play at all. So like, it ties back into like making the enemies play the lane. Remember, like if that Karma Caitlyn are poised to hit you, can you play the lane? No. Right? If you try to play the lane, you're gonna get set up into it. You're gonna get demolished into a bad spot. Like the question you want to just constantly think of it to yourself is like, how do we make them play the lane? Can they play the lane? Can I play the lane? What will happen so that I can't play? Like all that stuff is like rather than like it leads to kill, but I think the easier question to like get to that kill point rather than being like, how do I kill them? Where's the kill? Is just like, what can I do to make them not play the lane? That's the goal. To make them unable to be able to play the lane and find angles through that frame of mind rather than like the how do I kill them frame of mind. If you're always looking for kill, it's like you're just like, I don't see kill right now, I don't see kill right now, I don't see kill right now. But if you're just trying to think about like, if I get them low HP and I'm healthier, like then they just can't really play lane. Or if I was them, how would I feel if the lane state was like this? What do I feel like I'd be able to play the lane or not? And then go from there, because that'll like help you set up kills better, I think. Yeah.
This is all really like it's common sense, but like,
But it's not emphasized that much as much as you think.
You gotta like remind yourself that this is real.
Yeah, I feel like one thing too is like that like pressing harder with their HP bar. Like people think about it a lot more with Lucian. Like they still do it as much as like they should. But one person too is like misfortune, dude. That's the same concept. Like just ERing them, like when they're full HP, if it'll put them down to 70% because they don't have like a jump out of it, dude, you don't need to use it to kill them. Just get them down to that 30%. And again, if they stay under the tower now they just die under tower. Like that concept works there. And I never see people dealt with misfortune ulti.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't see much MF anymore, but
yeah, I think I saw it. I've seen it a ton recently, but
yes, that's an NA. NA noobs playing MF.
Yeah, they're all going lethal tempo.
Lethal tempo lethality? That's not it.
I once saw a guy go Yomus with PTA.
Yeah, that's fine. Lethality with PTA is fine.
Is it?
Yeah, it's fine. But with lethal tempo, that's whack.
Also with lethal tempo. Oh man. So.
This bug, man. But I guess do you have any questions from this VOD or anything anymore you would talk about?
Everything else be damned. One thing to focus on.
Well, one thing to focus on. I mean, I would say like again, just using those timers in mid game, like from the mid game onward. Like thinking about it being a turn-based game, because that's what League is, and a lot of people don't view it like that. There are turns in League, and you have to like look at whose turn it is and respect that. And if you're whether you be on offense or defense, you gotta think about how one can use their turn and where you can use it at. But other than that, I mean, since macro stuff in lane, I just want you to focus on, again that we already asked that question, that how do you make their lane unplayable, and also reflect on yourself. What will happen to make me this lane unplayable for me? So a lot of times when you're playing against Karma, people want to hit that minion, but if Karma's positioned to get that mantra Q on you, does hitting that minion make your lane unplayable?
Yep.
Yeah, so avoid that stuff. Like, always be asking yourself that question. And if you want to VOD review yourself, that's a really good question to keep asking yourself: is at what point did this lane become unplayable and why? Not like, why did I die? Because it's harder to see that. Like, if you're asking the question, why did I die, you'll only look at the deaths and you won't see the build up. But you have to look for at what point did the lane become unplayable, which will be the reason that led to you dying or essentially just falling so far behind. And you can ask that like on wins too. You can look at the wins too. At what point did their lane become unplayable and why? So you just can learn the mistakes. Because sometimes you'll be like, wait, they're low HP. They're not, like, we're shitting on them. How'd that even happen? Like that happens. I've had games like that too. Like, what the fuck? Why are we winning so hard?
Yep. I have one question. That's the itemization.
Yeah.
And then I'm good.
A strong point. Itemization.
Okay, so jokingly, you mentioned
I locked in vain. True.
If I am Lucian and I'm going to do that same realm against Aramis, would I still be going Dirk as the first item if I get that crazy back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll do it. You'll just, instead of committing it to collector, you'll just, I think I saw you do it in your history, you sell it for the LDR. Like after you finish your Gale Force, you get Kraken Gale Force, and then you finish the or you sell the Dirk for Last Whisper when you can. Or probably even just sell it. Like I would probably hold on to it and then only sell it like when it finishes the LDR. Yeah. Unless like if you like really need that armor pen and there's multiple reasons and it's like, hey, there's gonna be a dragon fight, then I'd probably just sell a Dirk for Last Whisper if it gives it to you. But otherwise, I wouldn't like necessarily rush the like Last Whisper component of it. You know, just get Last Whisper, and then if next back selling that gets you the LDR, do it.
Hell yeah! Alrighty, thank you so much.
Yep.
Really awesome session.
Thank you. Thanks for the session. I appreciate you doing this with me. That was fun. I had a good time.
Yep.
But yeah, any questions you get, you can always DM me, or be in Twitch chat and asking. But I will send you this VOD within a day or so. But other than that, dude, good luck in the games. Let's see you climb. I want to see you playing more and climbing. I think you'll definitely climb if you commit. But
I think if I get up another 2 or 3 divisions, I'll hit you up again.
Yep, sounds good, dude. I'd be down. But
Yep.
All right, dude. Good luck in the games. See you later.
Yep. Nighty night.